Today we're going to look at proportionality. So first, we're going to look at the different ways that you can determine if something is proportional or not. Looking at tables first, you will know that something is proportional in a table if the ratio of y to x all simplify to the same value. So like if we're looking at this table, x, y, so if I do the ratio of 26 over 2, it should equal the ratio of 39 over 3, and it should equal the ratio of 78 over 6, and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify these all. 13 over 1 equals 13 over 1 equals 13 over 1. So they are all the same, so yes, it is proportional. Versus non-proportional, the ratio of y over x does not simplify to the same value. So this first one, 0 and 1, we're going to come back to, because if I were to write that as a ratio, that would actually be undefined. So I'm just going to go to the next ones. 3 over 1 should equal 5 over 2, which should equal 7 over 3. These are already simplified. They do not equal each other, so it is not proportional. Looking at it, given equations. So if you're given an equation and it is proportional, it has to be in the form y equals kx, okay? Where the y and the x are there, there's a number in place for the x, or for the k, sorry. You cannot add or subtract anything to the kx value, all right? So for example, y equals x would be proportional. The k value is 1, even though it's not there. There's nothing added or subtracted. Or something like y equals 3/4 x would be proportional. There's no constant added or subtracted. So there on the other end, it is not proportional if it's in the form y equals mx plus b. So really this m and k are talking about the same values there. Okay, just different way that we distinguish between constant and not. And then you'd have a number in for the b. So something is added or subtracted to that mx value. So for example, y equals 2x minus 3, because there is a value that is subtracted from it. Or y equals negative 2/5 x plus 4, because we have that value that is added that is not proportional. Okay? Then, looking at from graphs. So if it is proportional, it forms a straight line, and it must pass through the origin. Okay? So examples would be, that would be proportional. Whoop, didn't do a good job of drawing a straight line there. That would be proportional. This would be proportional. Okay, they are straight and they go through the origin. On the other end, it is not proportional if it does not pass through the origin, and it may or may not make a straight line. So one example would be, this line is not proportional because even though it's straight, it does not go through the origin. This would be an example of something that is not proportional. Even though it goes through the origin, it is not a straight line. Okay? So those are kind of the three ways that we determine, or the three different things that we look at to see if it's proportional. Now we're going to look at one example kind of tying this together. So at a carnival, it costs $20 admission plus $5 per ride. Build a table to show the possible costs. Then graph the data on the grid provided. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to plug in values for x. So I'm just going to plug in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we know that it's $20 plus $5 times whatever that x value is. So 20 plus 0 is total cost of 20. Here, 20 plus 5 times the value of 1. So 20 plus 5 is 25. $20 admission plus 5 times 2 rides would give us a total of $30. $20 admission plus 5 times 3 rides would give us a total cost of $35. $20 admission plus 5 times 4 rides would give us a total cost of $40. And $20 admission plus 5 times 5 rides would give us a total cost of $45. So I'm going to say, let's go up by 5s. I'm going to mark it only every other though. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I'm going to have these go up by 1. And so on. Okay, so I'm going to plot my points. 0, 20, 1, 25, 2, 30, 3, 35, 4, 40, 5, 45. And draw my line through it. So, first off, I'm going to write an equation representing the relationship between the number of posters X and the total cost Y. So our total cost of Y equals, well, it's $5 per ride plus that $20 admission, okay? So is it proportional or not? A couple ways we could look at it. It does not go through the origin, and we're adding this value to the X. So not proportional, and I would say it does not go through the origin. And has a value added to MX.